Hey! Welcome back to AintJadedYet. Your live music reviews brought to you whenever I feel like it. Yeah, content creation consistency is bullshit! But we do our best. And, we saw King Gizzard and Lizard Wizard this past Friday at Forest Hill Stadium in New York City. I think like the third stop on the Orchestra tour. The third time they've played with an orchestra. And, goddamn, it was so good. I mean, the channel's called Ain't Jaded Yet. We're not gonna shit on the thing that we went to see. But fuck, man. We got horn sections, we got string sections, we got all of it working together in unison. We have, maybe the least improvisational tour that Giz has been on in a minute. You know, a fairly orchestrated event. Shooter. Nailed it. You know what I mean? That being said, there were some unique things going on here. And the very unique thing is the intermission when the orchestra takes a break middle of the show. And the boys keep playing for one song. For us, they jammed a few things instrumentally in between in New York, and then they played Magma. Pow. Anyway, let's get into right into the set list. Welcome back to AintJadedYet, the channel where we prefer to avoid being like, poo-poo on that thing. It takes as much energy, if not more, to shit on something or a band or anyone, or to be like, they suck, than it does to fucking cheer them on and gas them up. You know what I mean? Let's gas up these Petro Dragonic laps. Let's gas them up. This is Petro. You know what I mean? All right. So the orchestra comes out, and they do the entire Phantom Island album, which is it's some combinations of lots of Giz sounds, but because they recorded it with the orchestra from like start to finish, it has this like ethereal vibe to it, I guess you could say, all through it. It's not like we're getting into some, heavy metal on this. It does go to a lot of different places. And, they released Dead Stick first, or Phantom Island even earlier, on audio. Then they put out a video for Dead Stick and that song second. So, in order, Phantom Island first. It really is a cool song live with the orchestra. Very cool. Gotta turn this down because the guys in the background are gonna start down. Anyway, so Dead Stick comes second. Kind of like a banger song. It's like got some real fun dance to it. It gets the crowd energized at this point in the show. We're gonna talk about a lot of things randomly here, but we're gonna start out with the Phantom Island review. So let's keep it going. Dead Stick, big fun. Into Lonely Cosmos. Again, we're floating. This is floaty times. We're Lonely Cosmos. And then Eternal Return. And we're all kind of going for the ride. We're not used to seeing a show with an orchestra. And it's a vibe. It was so fun. Eternal Return, Lonely Cosmos, not songs that stood out in the first set, but like I said, we're riding. And then next is Pan Psych. I gotta say, these three middle songs did not stand out to me. But what's cool about King Giz is they do They do it both ways. But this album, I'd say it's really cool to listen to in order. I've done that a bunch of times, and to hear it live in order. It means that they did it in that order for a reason. It's like not just thrown around. There's things build throughout it. So the middle didn't crush me, but I'm saying that only because by the time we got to Space Sick, I'm fucking very, very happy with how Space Sick sounded live with an orchestra. Very nice. And then, I become very affectionate of Aerodynamic, which is the next song they played. And I think it's just this, the sounds, the beginning of it sounds just like a classic rock thing that I just like grew up around, but then it turns into this like, I don't know, sort of trippy, like let's fucking fly, let's jump off a cliff and fly type freedom of and Aerodynamic. Good aero. Then Sea of Doubt. Speaking of Sea of Doubt, man, you ever just like record yourself on YouTube and like halfway through you're like doubting yourself and shit? Not today, bitch. Sea of Doubt was actually really fucking good. Silent Spirit, Grow Wings and Fly. I'm gonna get moving. I'm trying to get my reviews down to 10, 12 minutes, and if I elaborate too much more on the first set, first half of the night, I won't have as much time to talk about the second half of the night, which is like really fucking gold up. You know what I mean? So we're gonna keep moving. Grow Wings and Fly live, great. I mean, that video is hilarious and awesome. It was great. At this point, Stu, like, he gets the crowd to get it going for that orchestra, like 3 or 4 times, like pro wrestling style. It's like, and I get why, dude. There's a lot of work, a lot of people on stage working hard, a lot of coordination, and they executed very well. And like I was talking about earlier, or maybe I didn't. Magma was the one unique song that we got. All the other shows of this orchestra tour got a different intermission song. Our intermission song was maybe the highlight of the night or up there. I don't know. It fucking ripped. Magma does it. It's like Magma's a great example of what King Gizzard is about, sort of to me. At least when it comes to the heavy stuff, a lot of the time. It's like ethereal and primal and like I am Gaia, like magma subterranean. It's like, yeah, magma is underneath us and it is powerful and that shit's it's subterranean, all right. They got all those things right. And the vibe of it, the energy, the screens are fucking liquid hot magma. And honestly, one of the cooler moments of the show is like at the end of them playing Phantom Island. This dude, like a row behind us, he knew that was the end of the orchestra part for a minute, and then he goes, "Now play some fucking metal." I just cracked up. But I also kind of said, yo, dude, that orchestra set 1, that was pretty metal. I know it wasn't like, but it's all fucking, they're good. But then they do play some metal. They know their crowd, they know their fan base. They played Magma for us and something different for others, but from here on out, the rest of the night is the second half of the orchestra tour, where they bring the orchestra back out to play bangers from the Giz collection. And they play The River, which, what a good choice. So Long. Down, down, down. Yeah, The River. It's like a banger song, a long one, a work. And that's why I was saying, like, how do you pick a song like The River and make the orchestra learn that, and then be like, hey, here's like 15 or 20 other of ours? No, they kept this limited for a reason. So river into crumbling castle. Like, by the end of the river, you're headbanging. I mean, we can get really specific. I think they only played parts 1, 2, and 4 of the river, but that fourth part gets heavy. Whoo! In the background, you can hear March to the Rich. After Crumbling Castle, we had this thing, which is like a groovy, like kind of like dance break from the heavy crushings of magma. The river, first half, first 2 parts, very, we're winding down the river, but then at the end of the river, man, we go over a dam and crash land into Crumbling Castle, and then this thing gets us into a fun little groovy number, and then March for the Rich. And I can hear the bass line in the background right now. Lucas fucking slayed that with some fucking strings to it. Like, I mean, this was like very unique show. God, I gotta say that I'm not feeling the flow of the Ain't Jaded Yet vibe as much right now. I mean, we're on Wednesday. I went to the show on Friday. I'm in recovery mode. I'm getting jacked from Field of Vision. I'm being honest to my YouTube audience, so that when like the 50 or so people that check this review out, maybe a few people from the stickers I gave out, maybe from social medias, they'll hear about the last 2 songs, which are Dragon, Petro, Dragonic. Fucking cool little moment during this song. My buddy's there, and he's like, "This is my son's favorite song. We wrestle to this song all the time." I thought that was so cool. I was like, 7-year-old's favorite song is by a band called King Gizzard and the Lizard Wizard. Things are okay in the world. Dragon. I gotta get into some of the live things that are going on during some metal at King Giz. So the first time I saw them was at Philadelphia. There was not a very big pit, which did not condone them, moshing like maniacs too much. Sure, it happened. However, Forest Hills, when Magma started to get going, like from there on out, there was like these like competing spirals, like in the front half of the GA floor and the back half, and then my buddy's like, "Yo, they're merging," and like it turned into like an infinity symbol. Almost all these songs in the second half of the night had people moshing. It was really cool to see the angle I was at looking down. I was straight back from behind the soundboard, maybe halfway up in the bowl, and watching the shit go down during Dragon and Iron Lung too. I mean, Iron Lung's such a good song to end on because it's such a cool, groovy, vibey song, but also gets heavy to close out the night. King motherfucking Gizzard and the motherfucking Lizard motherfucking Wizard. I'm going to Colorado to see them for their festival. I got to see Fish at their festival last summer, and something I had waited nearly a decade to do again. I mean, they wanted to do it again for me somewhere in between there. But when I saw King Giz announce this, I'm like, yeah, but they're from Australia, mate. Why are they doing it in our country? And it's probably because they know their fan base. They know they have a large number of them here. And, I mean, these guys don't fuck around. This is where Billy Strings does their festival. This is where Pretty Lights does it. Those are 2 of my other favorite artists. So it did not surprise me when they announced this to be here in Buena Vista, Colorado. Wow. I guess this could be the B-roll. I was gonna show a few stickers. I got some freebie fishing for fishies. We got a patch for Daily Blues. All the bigots, yeah, go get fucked. We got some stickers that I got. Some banana and some flute. It's like, which day of the week is Stu doing what? But nowadays, Joey plays a little bit of that microtonal banana from what I've been seeing. They share it. They share it. I heard they did. If you're in this part of my content creation, welcome to the worst shit that I've made. All I'm doing is the thing I can on a Wednesday afternoon. Miss you, Steve. These are fun. There's a dragon. That one's a pretty cool sticker. I mean, this is about as plain Jane as stickers get. Oh, I got two by accident. They were stuck together. Well, I'm going to have to find another certified silly Billy to give the other one to. They were really stuck together. I was like, why is this one so thick? And then, just the croc Zilla. Oh, what a thrilling ending to this episode of Ain't Jaded Yet, folks. I will say this. I'm going to see Joe Rooster's Almost Dead this weekend 2 times. And then I get to see some Eggy, some Dark Star, some Galactic, and there's a 4th band, Mo. We'll be there on Sunday in Rochester, New York. I'll probably do some reviewings of that. Leading up to Feel the Vision, motherfuckers. Peace be with you. I love y'all. Like I said, not my favorite review that I've given. It doesn't really justify how fucking epic that night was. And I feel like y'all can just go watch it on YouTube and see for yourselves because they have it up there. But if I haven't emphasized it, this was fucking sick. So, go see King Gizzard and Lizard Wizard. They're worth the effort. Unless you don't like sick shit. Like super gnar stuff. You know what I mean?